Welcome to JM Talk Show. I will be your host, Joshua Muia. In JM Talk Show, I'll be doing book reviews and hosting people with various success stories or inspirational stories which can impact the society in a positive way. And today with me, I have a guest who is a Kenyan author and a motivational speaker. He has authored several books, among them Explode That Lead and Excellence in Leadership. Without further ado, allow me to welcome my guest so that he can officially introduce himself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Joshua. My name is Samson Mung'athia. Like you have been told, I'm a Kenyan author with 3 published books already and many more along the way. And the first book is called Excellence in Leadership. The second book is called Explode That Lead. And the third book is called Inspire to Inspire, because the focus of all my books is just to inspire people to become their best.
And you have a very good book with a very powerful topic title, that is Explode That Lead. What inspired you to write the title?
Well, this book is based on observing lives of many people, of course my very own life also as well. Because I find people have potential, they have the capacity, they have the ability to make it or to succeed, whatever the definition of success they may be having, or to win, whatever they define winning as. But then they don't do it because there's something that is holding them back. So the title Explode That Lead is basically a wake-up call that break out of that thing that is inhibiting you or limiting you from becoming the best version of yourself.
Oh, that is fantastic. And to whom is your book dedicated to?
Well, my book is dedicated to my daughter, my firstborn daughter, because I want her to grow knowing that she can become the very best that she was created to be.
Yeah, so basically I read your book and I saw there is a chapter on equal opportunity at birth.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Equal opportunities at birth, I've talked about 2 things that people are given at birth. Whether you're born white or black or whatever the origin, the race, or the place that you're born in, if you're born normal, you're not having any malfunctions or anything at birth. You're born with 2 things. One is a brain, and funny enough, based on scientists and scientific research, is that we are all born with a brain that is equal in size and of course equal in ability to learn. What makes the difference is the environment, the exposure, and all these things. The second thing that we're born with equal, I've talked about 3 things. The second one is we are all born with the blueprints of success, blueprints of talents. That's what I'd say. So find the difference between the biggest marathoner or the best marathoner in the world and the rest of us who can run even 500 meters is the exposure, of course, the environment they get to. So everybody is born with a blueprint of a series of talents. But as you go by the ones that you're putting into practice a lot, what comes out. The rest just disappear along the way. And of course, the third opportunity that we have is time. We all have 24 hours in a day. So whether you're rich or you're poor, you're in Africa or wherever you are, you have 24 hours in a day. Of course, there could be variations in time zones, but at the end of the day, it's the 24 hours. How you work around those 24 hours is what will make the difference in your life.
Right, and as I was reading your book, I saw there is a chapter on discovering your purpose. Maybe there is someone who is watching this video and they have not yet discovered their purpose. How can they discover their purpose, and what is the first step they can take to start pursuing their purpose?
First, let me just start by saying that purpose is the reason you're born to be. The people confuse purpose with the job, purpose with the title, with position, or with all those other things. But purpose is the reason you're born to be. For instance, if a knife is meant for kitchen, its purpose is to be in the kitchen. If it's being used outside there to cut ropes and do all these other things, it will be succeeding in doing it, but that is not the purpose for which it was meant by the manufacturer. So purpose is about fulfilling that which that God created you to do. Now, realizing purpose is, to me, I say it's an easy thing, because when you're born with already an inner compass, a focus that pushes you. When you meet people suffering, what do you feel about them? What are your dispositions in life? What awakens you? What makes you feel like you want to fight? Those inner feelings that tells you should be doing this, you should be doing that. That's the very first thing that you should listen to in realizing your purpose. Then the second thing, of course, is exposure. Expose yourself to many activities, many places, many events, and throughout those interactions and many engagements, and through those engagements, you start getting prominent signals of what you should be doing, either towards supporting humanity, supporting causes that support life, and many other areas, or impacting lives, that is.
Right, and what is the first step? Should they keep procrastinating, or basically you start where you are?
No, the very first step I will say, in fact, I've talked about procrastination as a whole chapter in the book, the very last chapter. what I will say is start where you are. There are people who are keeping out waiting for resources. They know I could be doing this, but they give themselves an excuse. When you use that word "but," it's just we are fighting for what we can't, we don't want to throw away. So my point or my advice is start where you are with whatever you have. The resources, the people, all those other opportunities, they will catch up with you. If you don't start, most of them will not show up. So begin where you are with the literal strength that you have, with the literal capacity knowledge that you have, and then it will grow over time.
Oh, that is great. And there is a chapter on "You are born to win." The statement itself is very motivational because you feel motivated, energized. Yes. Tell us about that chapter.
In that chapter, I've drawn from a biological background, part of it, because biologists tell us when during fertilization, during the procreation process, there are over 300 million sperms that are involved in that process, of course, with only one egg on the other side. And this got me thinking, of course, because when you think about 300 million sperms being involved, the target is one thing. So I liken it to a marathon. You're going for a marathon, there are over 15,000 participants, of course. The biggest marathon ever in history was having around 17,000 participants. And now here you have 300 million of you. And one has to make it. And guess who made it at the end of the day? It's you. Out of the 300 million, you made it. And so common sense comes in, and I normally ask people, if you're in liquid state, why should you be giving up now when you are in solid state, of course? So the point is, the very nature of birthing process alone tells you that you're born to win. You are never born to lose, because if to lose, you could have lost in that process of, the fertilization process. So in as far as your life, you're born for a reason. And in as far as your life, you're breathing, you have to find that reason and go through it and win. Because winning, of course, I said, winning is relative. When I talk about winning, what I may define as winning may not be what you define as winning. So go out in your area of calling and win there.
Oh, that is very good. And basically, there is this chapter on procrastination we talked about.
Yeah.
We've mentioned it in the previous talk.
Yeah.
Like what we have talked about. Tell us about it, procrastination.
Well, procrastination is just a very, very simple word, but that has kept many people behind in life, because procrastination is the art or the usual way of saying I will do this tomorrow. You have to do something today, but you say there is time. And people live like they have 1,000 years to be alive. They keep doing it. I want to write a book. I can write tomorrow. I can start next year. I can start next month. So procrastination is the habit of putting things off for a future time. Of course, it ends up being an indefinite time, because you can't define. If you say tomorrow again, tomorrow is a new day, you have another tomorrow ahead. So this habit that keeps people back, because many people realize I should be doing this, but then they procrastinate because, of course, various reasons. I've talked about fear. They fear what will happen if I do it, or if I don't, if I leave this side and go to the other side, what happens? Number two, I've also talked about responsibilities. Some people are just held up with responsibilities. My family is waiting for me, my community is looking up on me. And I've also talked about environment. There's an environment that just pushes people to be comfortable, to be settled, to be okay. And then I've also talked about the comfort zone. When we talk about the environment, there are people who have just arrived in life. They're in no hurry to do anything else. They have paid their bills, they fed their families, they're providing for the very basic things, and they feel I'm okay. So they tend to procrastinate any major thing because they think it's going to cause displeasure, kind of. So this word is a one that is holding many people back. It's a habit that many people have developed over time, and it's one that is keeping people grounded for long.
And there are some people who want to start the journey of writing or being motivational speakers, and they want to know how they can really start the journey of authoring books. What advice can you give them?
To anybody who is willing or thinking that they can write a book, they are very right. I will tell them writing is not a huge thing. Before I wrote the books, I also used to hear people talk about, writing is a very hard experience. In fact, I talked to one guy who is a published author, and it's a very hard thing to do. But my take is it's very easy. Of course, there are challenges involved, but you have to get committed. If you commit yourself, you're going to do it. So begin with where you are, the ideas that you have. I've had people give reasons like, I don't have a laptop, I don't have this, you don't need a laptop. My first book, I wrote it on a hard book cover, the exercise book that has the hard cover. Wrote it, took it to a cyber for typing and all these other things. So stop giving excuses. Begin where you are. write, even if it means writing 100 words per day or 10 words per day. Start there, but then set a goal. I want to write a book that looks like this. Maybe it's a novel, maybe it's an inspirational book, maybe it's a factual book, which is maybe historical or research related. Just have a goal of what you want to write, and then begin the journey with whatever resources that you have. And as you go on, things are going to be unveiling themselves.
And as I was reading your book, I came across this chapter called Dream Big and Start Small. Tell us about that concept.
Yes, that's the essence of life, and that's what I've mentioned saying start where you are. The point is, I normally tell people keep your eyes on the sun and your feet on the ground. Eyes on the sun because that's where you want to go, but then feet on the ground because this is where you are. So dreaming big is about having an idea of where you want to be, what you want to achieve at the end of life, how do you want people to define you, how do you like the world to remember you. That's the big dream. Or what do you want to achieve, maybe in 5, 10, 20 years, maybe by the time you're 60 years, or whatever the age that you're going to be. That's the big dream. But then having a big dream does not mean you have big resources to match it. So having that dream, begin the process of going there. Because if you want to fell a tree that has a diameter of maybe 5 meters, you're not going to fell it by axing it only once. So have the dream of falling that tree, but then start axing it with just a single hit, second hit. By the time you're doing it for several days or several hits, the tree will be down. So begin where you are with the resources that you have, the abilities that you have, but keep in mind, focus on where you want to be.
There are some people who are watching the video and they are going through challenges, especially with COVID-19 or any other challenges, because mental health is something which is being spoken a lot on our media houses. So based on your book, which word of motivation would you give someone who is feeling demotivated, discouraged, and is about to give up in life?
What I will tell this person whoever is feeling down and they're beaten up by life is, number one is life is a process. Life is a process in that things doesn't happen just at once. You don't wake up to find yourself at the top of the land. You have to climb from the first rank, the second, the third, until you get to the top. So at times along the way you're going to fall, of course. Along the way you're going to find slippery places. You're going to find sharp corners that you're going to miss. The point is keep hope alive, keep the focus. Don't lose sight of where you want to go. Don't let the secondary activities sidetrack you from your main activity in life. If you've lost your job along the way, and this job is what you relied on to provide for yourself, keep looking for the job. But in the meantime, look for something you can do that is productive. So it's about maneuvering. Life itself is very slippery, it's very hard to make it, but then keep your eyes on the prize that you want to get at the end of the day.
And basically, when you start working on your goal, after dreaming big, now you start small so that you can get to your point of vision. How do you overcome negativity or naysayers from the society?
Well, this is a fact that you're going to find people are going to discourage you a lot. In my third book that is about to come out, I've talked about avoiding or going against the discouraging voices. And these discouraging voices are true. There is an internal voice. You internally are going to be speaking to yourself, doubting yourself. Can I make this? Who do I think I am? There is that voice that will be coming to us. Who do you think you want to write a book? In your family, has anybody else has written a book? Do you have an history of writing books? All these things. So shut down that internal negative talk. Don't entertain it. Don't listen to the negative internal talk, because that conversation is always going on, whether you like it or not, consciously or unconsciously. There's a conversation going inside. So direct that conversation towards the positive. Now, the external part of it, the external discouraging voices, this one is a question of choice. Choose your company wisely. Choose people who are going to encourage you, people who are going to promote you. Anybody who is playing jokes with your dreams, with your vision, just keep them off. In other words, choose your friends with a toothpick, not a fork. Pick a few people that will keep close to you, and then let the rest just be outside your circle. Let them celebrate you from outside or boo you from the outside, but the people around you, the core unit of yourself, have people who are holding to your vision and supporting it.
Now, Mr. Samuel, there are some people watching this video and they are wondering how they can get to you to get your book or for a talk. How can people reach you, your social media handles or phone number?
Well, I am in all social media places across LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. All those places you can get me through Samson Mung'athia. That's my name as it is. If it's on Twitter at Samson Mung'athia, Instagram Samson Mung'athia, Facebook the same. And Facebook there too, there is the account and there is the page. You can go to either of them. And now you can get me through that. You can engage through that. Secondly, there is the phone number that you can text, WhatsApp, all these things, 0718 983364. 0718 983364. Through those channels, you can just reach out to me, we'll engage, and you can get to benefit.
Oh, thank you so much for coming.
Much welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for watching JM Talk Show. I hope you are inspired and motivated to work towards your life goal, dreams, or your bigger purpose in life. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe today. And don't forget to press the notification bell or click on it so that you can get notification when I upload new videos. Bye.